Hello everybody and welcome to another of my YouTube videos. I'm here in World Headquarters. I haven't got anything overly new to show you today. This is a quick tour of what's been going on over the last week or so. As you probably know, we're deep into January. There's not that much for me to be getting on with in terms of contracting. I've got a couple of places that want me soon with the hedge cutter. I've got a little bit of muck to move and all that type of stuff. But on the whole, I spend my time in here fixing, repairing, maintenance, putting stuff away, getting stuff ready for the forthcoming season and all that type of stuff. So I thought we'd have a quick tour around and I'll show you what I'm up to. Okay, we'll start at the back of the shed and we will walk forward. So what I've done is I've put away the Accord fodder beat drill, 6-row fodder beat drill that I had, or have rather. I put that out the way. I won't need this until about end of April, May sort of time. So it's a great big cumbersome thing when it's stood in the middle of the shed. You've got to work around it. You absolutely don't want to start driving into it and the like. So while the shed was being rearranged, we've taken the chance to put it out the way up here. Something that is of a similar dimension to it is the Amazon corn drill. Now I've undone the lids on that, so no Mickeys can get in there. It's emptied. I know it's got a bit of dust on it, but I've cleaned it off. It's in the dry. It's been fully serviced and it is ready to go next year. So it's here, out the way and ready for action in the spring, which hopefully isn't too far away. We'll move forward. I've got a load of tractors down here. I've put the 996 here for a minute. I need to do a little bit of work to this before it goes back into action in the spring and the summer. We have got a little bit to do to that. Stay tuned for that if we go around the shed. We've then got the 990, which has got the little Bamford roller mill on the back. Stay tuned for roller mill news. There's probably going to be a bit of a change here. I'm not sure how long we're going to have this mill. Stay tuned for that. I'll tell you more about it. The 990 is out the way. And then, happily in a line, we've got the 1390, the 1494, the 1690, and at the very end, the great big 2290. It's amazing how little space these things take when they are packed in as tidy as I can. So the 1690 and the 2290 over there, they are ready for next year's work. I've given them a bit of a service. The 1690 has had a dose of TLC, a lift bump at the door, the mirrors and all that type of stuff has been sorted. The cab's seen a bit of a hoovering. It was well overdue. This 1494 needs similar attention. So the cab needs a clean. The brakes need a little bit of attention. It needs a slave cylinder. And as well, the 1390, before it goes out, does need to see a doctor. But before we do that, we've got some other things in the waiting room. Let me show you what I've got. So here we have got the 4-furrow David Brown plough, which suddenly, as soon as you put it down, turns into a bloody workbench, doesn't it? And things get plonked on it. So I'm halfway through getting this up and running. I've done a few videos on this. These discs and that board there need sorting out. I have, since I did the last video, got some parts for it, and they are over here. You can squeeze through things. So there is a few parts. There's a frog in there, in that pile of stuff there that I can rob, and we'll turn that plough into something semi-decent. The other day, I'd been looking for one of these for ages, and the other day I found one. I bought myself a road compressor, what I call a road compressor. I'm not sure what the real name for them is. So what we've got under this little grey box is a little John Deere 3-cylinder engine, which drives something like a hydrovane compressor, and then out of there, or off these two hoses at the front here, it will blow some air. So I'm really happy with this so far. I'm just waiting on someone I know who knows far more than me about this sort of part of the world, what needs doing to this. I'm loath just to jump into using it in case I run it dry of oil or it needs some kind of maintenance or service before we go. So I'm just waiting to hear from a friend of mine who knows these things far better than I do, and he will put me point me in the right direction, no doubt. So this was bought purely for things like this baler here. So that bit there isn't so bad, we can get rid of that. But around the knotters and all that type of stuff, under this guard, under there, there's dust and straw and hay and stuff. Well, this thing here will be a real big help, I hope. So little diesel engine, all I need to do is start it up, set it going, and blow the crud and the rubbish off it. Especially so that combine over there. So that's put away in the dry, but it's covered in dust. I've been very grateful to a friend of mine where I've been borrowing something like this until now, but borrowing, as you know, is a bit of a pain. So we've gone ahead and we bought one. I'm told this came from the US military. It's painted in military colours. It's got a very military feel about it in the way some stickers and decals and stuff are stuck on. I'm told this did belong to the US military at one time. Whether it did or not, I don't know. But I'm sure there will be a little bit of videos and stuff about this in the future. So outside, we've got the great big trailer, which is full of last year's grain, and it is coming towards the end now slowly. There is not very much left. I've got a customer who wants a little bit more from it. I don't think there will be much left. So that's another 10, 9, 8, 10, 11 ton of barley gone, ready for this thing to fill it up again. So here is my winter barley, and it's not looking so bad. It's very even, but it is evenly yellow. Come the spring, give it another few weeks, and I think this will need a dose of nitrogen just to boost it and get the colour back into it, and probably a bit of weed and feed as well as that. Get rid of this little bit of weed growing here and there. But on the whole, it's not looking so bad. I've failed with this before now. This thing has absolutely failed before now in winter, and I've had to re-sow it in spring. So even if it is looking a little bit yellowy and a bit sorry for itself, it's all there, and it should absolutely spring forward once it's had a little bit of 20-10-10 or whatever you would suggest really on it come the spring. And of course the priority is to get this thing inside. You'll see from my last video that I've gone and bought a Lely combine, or another Lely combine. We need to get it in through the doors and under cover. I'm loath to leave this outside. However, I console myself in that it's lived outside for a good few years. Another couple of days or weeks won't make that much of a difference. But anytime now, we're going to empty the shed, get this inside and get it under cover into some dry. That'll be nice. So while we're here talking about Lely combines, here is the original one, my father's one. And this is one of the reasons I wanted that compressor to blow rubbish like this off it, blow it through, blow it clean. You know, stuff like that needs blowing down and get it nice and clean, and then put a bit of oil on the shiny bits like the header. As you can see, it has got a little bit of a film of rust on it. This is why I bought my own, so I can just jump on it and do it on the last day of the season next year. That's the plan anyway. So while we're talking about the new to me Lely combine, sooner or later, this in the next few days, I'm going to try and start my father's old 1410 and shift this old girl out the way. With a bit of luck, the combine will fit in here next to this one. That's the plan anyway. I'm pretty certain it will fit from there to there. That isn't an issue. My worry is the roof. Is this cab, of which this is the same size, is that cab going to be digging into the roof there? We'll just have to try it and have a look. I'm hoping not. I'll do a little video either on this or on the other place about getting this 1410 going. This hasn't gone in years, bless it, but I don't see why it won't. We'll put a battery on it and see if we can get the thing up and running. But hopefully, next job, through those doors, get this out, get the other one in, get that out the way, and park it up here tidy. That's the plan anyway. Under no circumstances is this old girl going to live outside, and neither is that. So it's just a matter of hopefully squeezing everything in. Fingers crossed. So there we go, job done. I've given you a very quick tour of World Headquarters and what has been going on over the last couple of days, 3 days or a week or so. So the next time you see me, with a bit of luck, the big new combine, or new to me combine, will be tucked away indoors, and the compressor that's behind me here will be being used to blow things down, such as the baler and the tractors and the combines and the whatever. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be in use. Right then, we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone, goodbye.